Hello YouTube and welcome to the next Blender car modeling tutorial. It's been a while since the previous tutorial, but now we can actually get into the continuation process of modeling this BMW car. So what we did previous time was we created the interior of roof and we created mirror there. So right now we're gonna finish up the symmetrical parts of the interior, but actually I'm gonna do a little bit more of this stuff. Previously I forgot to show you that we needed to create here where the lamp is. We need to make something inside here, otherwise there is blank glass, lamp glass. We need to make some very low poly actual lamps there, and I changed my mind a bit and decided to make this polygonized. I can afford it. When I take a look at my current poly count, it's acceptable, so I think that I'll stick with a bit higher polygon count. But first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go in interior object, sorry, selected the wrong one, so here, and we're gonna fill out this rear part basically. I'm not gonna go too complex with it, so I'm gonna kind of select, yeah, hard to do it, not so easy. I'm gonna select those vertices, drag them up a bit, and also pull this on the side minimally. So, and yeah, I'm not gonna focus much on this part of the vehicle. So I'm gonna extrude this a bit up. Let's make sure we have selected right. Okay, I don't see any difference here at all which one you select, so I'll not worry about it. And here I'm gonna select those two faces and remove doubles. This will just blend them two together. I'm gonna actually quickly see the normals. As you can see, this face has wrong normals. At some moments you can actually notice it by yes, sometimes this shading feels broken. Then you must first check if the normals are right, and if they are, then you can look deeper into the problem. Here I'm not gonna model smooth geometry, lots of detail, because this is something that the game really won't care much. So I'm gonna set cursor here, extrude, and selection cursor, drag those two here like that, scale up a bit even their distance, and of course fill this part as well as fill here with triangle. Great. So now let's get into the roof part of interior, and we're gonna kind of match it here with approximations, of course. So I'm gonna select all of those vertices here and extrude down. Now set cursor here, move this vertex to the cursor, adjust the vertices here, and here you're gonna actually notice that it's higher poly. Set a cursor here and move selection to cursor and do a knife cut here. Set cursor to that vertex and move this to the cursor. Good. So here I can actually make it blend into really low poly object. I can actually set it to kind of end here. I'm gonna set cursor there, extrude this and move this to the cursor, and then set cursor, for example, on this vertex, and move this to the cursor. And also I'm gonna do this extrusion simpler. I don't know, but I am even not gonna try to. Okay, well, I'm gonna match it with doors here. So I'm gonna set cursor here, and this vertex to the cursor. Fill this for now with a quad, and here, what could I do? Can I just extrude this and set it here, for example, and fill, of course. Yeah, and now I'm gonna adjust it here because currently it's kind of not correct. So I'm gonna first select this vertex. No, not that one. I can't access it. Why? Okay, I'm gonna go in wireframe for a moment. So I'm gonna select this vertex. Maybe I'm gonna drag it down here. So try to find a good place for it, where you think that it belongs to. Yeah. So in my opinion it should be here. So now I'm gonna do a few knife cuts from this vertex to this edge. And next knife cut. So one more cut. And I think, yeah, it's basically done. You won't be able to see there on the floor anyways, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Let's just check one more thing. In my game, the doors will be able to detach in very serious crashes, and yeah, so I'll need to have a good approximation there. I'm gonna move those doors to the second layer, select interior, and do very approximate fill here. So I'm gonna go in wireframe first, and make sure to select only those vertices, and I'm gonna extrude them here, and for this set, remove doubles, and I'm gonna drag it in around that point. And of course each single vertex should be adjusted by itself there, and of course fill here, or maybe even extrude this. Set cursor here and move this vertex to cursor and fill now, and then cursor here, and then this one more extrusion, cursor, and there. Great. One of the masses filled. And here you just fill with triangulated faces, and maybe do one extrusion here, which kind of looks like that, and fill with face here. You won't be able to see much more in the actual game, so this is gonna work well, kind of good. And also on this side you need to do a few adjustments. So seems that I must use the roof, and so I'm gonna set cursor here Oh, I'm gonna cancel that. I'm gonna select all of those. Vertices here. Extrude them. Wait, no, not that one. Extrude. Then this vertex to cursor. Cursor here. Whoa. Or no, here. This vertex to cursor. A knife. What did I press? I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna cancel it. Knife cut here. Cursor here. And selection to cursor. Then cursor here. And yeah, just let's do this all through here like that. So far it's working well. So I'm gonna merge this at here some way like that, then cursor here, and lastly cursor there. Oh right, we have a vertex there already, so we just fill it in here. So we have created the base here. Of course, I'm gonna edge split the sides of it. Like that. Good. And maybe even finish it here. So I'm gonna set cursor here and extrude this and set it to cursor. One more extrusion again to that cursor, and yeah, we have done it. Great. Now whenever we'll detach our door, or just for example open it, so if you okay, let's forget for a moment. Okay, I can't kind of do it like that. But you can see you'll have a quite of acceptable look there. Great. Next thing that I was talking to you about is in the front part. Here are the lamps. In this reference I can't see for sure. Let's for a moment turn down the opacity of this image and turn it off for this one, and there's no the current image is actually better. So what we're gonna do is kind of make the inside of lamp. I'm gonna rather look for a reference, so I'm gonna type BMW E92 Coupe without the interior postfix to see some images of it. Here I can see the lamps. One important thing, I need to select. Okay, I have forgotten the process of lamps. Basically, important thing to do, you need to select the correct vertices, the outline vertices, outside the glass zone. See, like that. Or maybe even opposite. Yeah, you need to select the glass vertices, because in that case you're able to do it with one object. Like this. So now I have selected those. I go in side view and do E to extrude, possibly also Y. So you need to kind of extrude them. As you can see, they're kind of deep and there they feel like flat almost. So I'm gonna rotate them around like this. In the front view, let's firstly get rid of all of this spaghetti, because move to layer 2, move to layer 2. Oh, I need lamps back. So, well, yeah, I can't see much details in this image, so I guess that we must scale it down a bit. And here I'm gonna adjust it. So, I think that at this point it kind of, yeah, it kind of matches them. And then there it goes, like on this side, something like this. And so you adjust them, and of course in the side view you also adjust them. So one thing that you may want to do is, let me take a look. Yeah, select them all. Let's go into front view. And scale down on y-axis, because it's how it looks like and act. Also, you wanna kind of match it, I don't know. Yeah. So you need to also manually set the vertices around a bit different than they are by default. You need to make it, in this case, a flatter a bit for the side view. Maybe like this. Now, of course, I'm gonna select those faces already before I forget. It's gonna be easier, because it's gonna then apply each time I extrude. So select those faces, and I'm gonna assign a material. Remember that all the transparent surfaces should have separate material, and non-transparent surfaces should have separate. That's as minimum, but I have 4 materials set up here. Too many materials will also result in some performance drops and problems all around. So I'm gonna now fill here, and it's already gonna look fine. I'm just saying that it's not gonna look bad at all now. This step is kind of important. Maybe one more triangle cut here. Yeah, we have the space for lamps. What we need to do is we need to split them, because you can see that they're connected each to other. There. Lamp and the inside of the lamp. So you just select correct edges, like that. So you need to select those edges around the lamp, and then do mesh edges edge split. Great, we have now a nice inside of the lamp. Of course, you can now keep adjusting. Like for me now it feels a bit too flat, so I'm gonna make it more curved inside. So yeah, I'm gonna drag those like that. So you kind of adjust like you see it to be required to like it requires to be adjusted, and then you need to make those barrels inside, or whatever you would call them. So cursor here, new cylinder, radius of 0.05. Let's now try with 5 centimeters. Width is 8. I don't need more. And the depth maybe 0.1. So let's see what we'll get here. So I'm gonna make it smooth. And for those vertices I'm gonna assign this material of metal. Rotate in x-axis by 90 and drag in like this. I'm gonna I have enabled it already. Okay, it doesn't work in edit mode, the transparency view, so I can't see through, unfortunately. So I'm gonna scale it up a bit here, kind of adjust it. And of course delete this face. We don't need too many faces that we don't use. Press E to extrude this, drag in and scale down. And of course I'm gonna do knife cuts here. It requires to do. So knife cut like that, knife cut like that. And of course I can make this sort of roundish like this, and also edge split here. And what I'm going to do now is select this barrel, all the faces of it. This lamp. Make sure you have all selected. Yeah, the best way to make sure what you have selected, you drag thing up and check, and then press right click if I didn't tell it already before. Duplicate it and move here sideways, and you do not need to rotate it in kind of ways. It's gonna work well here. Kind of position it, like you can see here. Maybe you rotate around x-axis minimally, then you can scale it up a bit. Yeah, kind of till you get some decent results. Well, I'm gonna leave it like this. Maybe I could select this barrel. All the faces of it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So, yeah, I'm gonna move it this way, like on the side a bit. Maybe even scale that a bit. Well, that's already better. What I'm gonna also do is I'm gonna a mistake. Let's try again. So I'm gonna drag those vertices here out a bit, because probably the front lamps of this car are really shaped like that. And this will allow me to make this barrel bigger, more like it is in the real life. So select all of its faces again. So let's check if we have selected the barrel rightly. I'm gonna scale it up. Maybe not so much. And also right here. Well, it's kind of yeah, it's kind of looking good. And there's one more thing that I was willing to do. It's actually no. Yeah. This will work fine with texture for this specific car because it's kind of smooth there. But I'm gonna do this incline. Anyways, that's gonna improve the visual of this car a lot. It will be critical improvement. So let's start off by actually checking. Yeah, we have split them. Then we need to, oh right, we can do it simple way. We need to make sure that we select this object and yeah, the vertices of it. Drag them in a bit like this without affecting the shape much. So I'm gonna kind of make it this way. Of course, yeah, you can approximately see here what we're aiming at, and I'm gonna just fill this. Such simple. Nothing complex, nothing difficult to do, easy. So you just take and do it, and then adjust it, of course. And now let's get into non-orthographical mode. I don't know what did just happen. How did I rotate the view like that? I want to be back, please. No. What does it, why? Okay, I'm kind of saved. So in the front view, you also round them, adjust, pick them up, like this. Great. And I'm gonna also recheck the materials here, because I want there to be paint material here. And now let's do the splits here. Select those edges like I do. As we did the fill thing here, it removed all the splits here. So let's edge split it there. So yeah, we'll do the rest of it with texture. So let's move everything from layer 2 back to the layer 1. You can see the model is already getting better. So in the next tutorial we're gonna finally finish the interior by adding the steer wheel completing this panel and doing lots of other important stuff. But for today, it's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If so, don't forget to leave a like, and see you in the next tutorial.